I think kind of that experience, man, being able to watch those games last year and kind of like look back and reflect on it, at some moments I'm like, man, like I look clueless out there, and obviously as a player, you need to see that growth. And I've been blessed to have great people that have been able to teach me, Coach Skalski, Coach Roof, and Coach Venables, that are able to pour so much knowledge into my game where I can grow so much. And I think, I would use what they're teaching me and put in the new guys that are coming in the program now.
Crazy towards us. I've never really experienced playing in Hawaii.
Five of us.
Rivalries like that. I mean, we had like little games with like trophies here and there. It was nothing compared to how it is, playing.
Yeah, I think it's all about fourth quarter finish. Obviously, in a game, there's like 3 or 4 plays that kind of dictate the game, and you never know when those plays are going to happen. But you always got to be ready. And I think if you look back at it, our fourth quarters wasn't where it needs to be, and that comes down to third and fourth down throughout the entire game. And then that also happens to P and 10 opportunities. You got to be better on first down, so you're better on third and fourth down.
Be a little bit more, I'd say, aggressive in how I approach things. So, this offseason, I've been working on it.
Man, I feel like there's that experience. Last year we had one coach, and we had like 4 coaches that had to teach the entire defense. And at times that's challenging, especially with Coach Venables' defense that has so many different play calls where we're learning basically a whole new playbook before every game. And at times it's challenging when just having the coaches to teach that. But now that we have older guys with experience, that when the coaches aren't available to coach us, the older guys are teaching the younger guys that don't know the system. And I think there's so much more exponential growth that happens when you have older guys that are able to lead the younger guys, which is obviously we had leaders last year, but they didn't have the knowledge to be able to do that.
Like the rest of the world, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, my Bedlam career, I'm 1-1, so obviously I want to end on a high note. I love that rivalry, man. I love to compete, and I don't really know what the future holds. If this last one, we got to leave it all on the table.
Really experienced COVID until 260. I couldn't do anything.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, if you think back and reflect, coming as a freshman, obviously. I remember looking up to the older guys and kind of like, having great leaders in front of me where I was, you have to be a great leader, you have to have followership. And that's something where I was able to look up to them and learn so much, where now that it's my time to step into that role, I already know so much that I can teach on to them and kind of be a good example for what the standard is so they can pass on when I'm gone.
I needed to gain that weight because you can't be doing things by yourself.
Man, there's so much defense can learn, man. I mean, I think, pretty much what we've been doing is like every single day we're doing walkthroughs, I bring the linebackers in, we study film every single day. Coach gives us what to watch and we watch it, man. And I think we go into a deeper level that can't be done last year. We know so much more when we're by ourselves, we're able to kind of have a miniature Coach Venables mindset when you're watching that tape. And that's just something that wasn't able to happen last year. Man, he's talented. Obviously, he was an All-American where he's from, won 2 national championships. And for myself, me and Shane Witter were kind of the older guys. And now, having someone like him with so much experience, it kind of brings the room together. I mean, none of those lists really do anything for me. I think personal accolades, personal stats, that's not my motivation. I think, obviously, where we were last year, I think the only goal can be a top 5 defense. And that's something that I strive to do. And maybe I don't have as many tackles, but as long as the defense does their job, I'll be a happy man. I have to be consistent. As being a leader, I can't be the guy to make those mistakes on third down. I have to be the example every single play, every time I'm on that field. Absolutely. I mean, Coach Venables talked a lot about competitive depth, and that's something that we have now. I mean, obviously, where I'm from, back in Florida, I mean, I'm used to playing every single down. But I mean, I gotta admit, sometimes later in the games, it kind of hurt us. Obviously, that can't be an excuse, and it's not. But having a player, to come in, take some reps, it does help. It does help the longevity of games. You don't gain that breather, so you're fresher in the fourth quarter. It does matter.
Watching him work out was just crazy. Just watching how he plays.
Absolutely. I mean, with UCF coming into our conference, it's exciting. I kind of wish we could have went over there to play him. Playing with Florida State, that was an awesome opportunity for all my friends and family. I wish we could have done that again. But I'm very excited for them to come to Norman. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, like I said earlier, watching tape and looking at those first, kind of up until later in the year, kind of like Texas Tech. I mean, it really starts to make sense. And now there's that deeper understanding of the defense. Obviously, I still have a long ways to go. I'm nowhere where I want to be as a player, and I know that, everyone knows that. But it does slow down in a sense. And looking back at it, at times I just look like a headless chicken. I mean, that is what it is. But I've learned so much. I have so many great mentors pouring into me, and I know how far I've come and how far I need to go.
I mean, every opponent we play. I'm excited for the season.
I mean, I have a personality for sure. I mean, obviously I know when there's times to be serious, when there's times to be not. I think as soon as you step on that field, the switch is on. But, being off, I want to connect the team. I want the team to be as close as we can. I mean, it can't be offense versus defense. It's offense with defense. And I think that goes even during games. I think there was times where the offense failed to complement the defense and the defense failed to complement the offense. And that's something that we need to correct moving forward. I think it just goes with, fourth quarter finish, and just kind of consistency. Every single day we're working with Schmitty, working with each other. So the defense isn't making those third down mistakes. We're getting off the field, we're giving the ball back to the offense. And I know the offense is doing exactly what they need to do to put the ball, give us that breather and do their job.
Players like that in the NFL and in college, it was really crazy to watch, knowing that they have the same.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a huge difference. I think last year where we finished off, you can't just go right into a Schmitty conditioning culture. I think, kind of last summer was him building us up for what he had in mind for us. So this year is kind of our first true year with Coach Schmitty, where we're doing the workouts that he actually wants us to do. You can't have a newborn baby and just throw him into a Schmitty workout. It ain't going to end well. But now we're matured, we're developed, where we can take that stress and strain that he puts onto us as players.
I'm thinking I'm regular size because I'm hanging out with guys who are like 3 years older than me. So when I start playing football, everybody's so
pretty much efficiency, man. You got to be at the right place at the right time. I know at times I had bad hands, bad eyes, and bad footwork. And, I just got to clean up my game as a player. I can't have any false steps, can't make any wrong, steps right here or else I'm going to be out of position. I have a great instinct for the ball. That's one thing.
They usually have really big,
I mean, absolutely. I mean, even looking back at a game like Texas Tech where, we're in a call where I'm the flat player and the run comes to me and I'm late to lever the ball. And so it gets outside of me. And those are just mistakes as someone who's a leader that can't happen. I mean, they got the first down, it gave them momentum. I think they either got a field goal or a touchdown. And it's just little plays like that where, with experience, that's a mistake you can't have. And obviously, you grow as a player and you learn, and the same mistake never happens twice. Obviously, and I think going into confidence is kind of about it. Confidence doesn't come from the outcome, it comes from the hard work. And so obviously last year we didn't get the outcome that we desired, but we're still confident in Coach Venables' everything he teaches us. We know that we might have missed a few, steps here and there, but we're still on an inclined trend. I mean, it's motivation for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, I have no, kind of input what goes into those awards. There's nothing I can do about that. I mean, every time I step on the field, I play my brand of football. And if that's not good enough, then all I can do is improve my game.
A lot of protein shakes. A lot of the times I'm sitting there eating at breakfast or dinner or lunch.
Man, we have a great group of guys, man. You think, obviously, Deshaun McCullough and Connor Air probably a high talk, but even to highlight some of the younger guys, man. Taylor Heim from Oklahoma, super fast, super talented. Lewis Carter, he's a freak in the weight room. We were benching, he did 350 for 6 reps, and that's unheard of. Brian Asamoah was doing that as a senior, if not even that much. And then Sammy, I'm not even going to try his last name, but, he's a natural talent out there at Cheetah. And it's just so many young guys that, but we're going to be just all right, and they're going to catch up to the program now that they have older guys that can teach them, and that they're going to be miles ahead where I was last year.
My coach Shane came up and talked to me. He's like, we noticed that you.
What guy?
And we're probably thinking about putting you on the interior next season.
Yeah, I mean, I've come so far as a player. I mean, looking back at it like a freshman, kind of being immature at times, but I've had great mentors like Coach Venables to always hold me up to his standard. He's poured so much into me where I've seen myself mature and grow. And obviously, I want to fill that leadership role. I'm hungry to do that. It's always been my goal. And I'm a junior. Being at me, it's been a great privilege, great opportunity. I'm blessed to do it. I'm very happy to be at the University of Oklahoma. It's basically a second home, if not a first home for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Jonah's a great player. He was playing defensive end, obviously, but, he's able to sacrifice, put on a little bit of weight, put his hand in that dirt, and he's going to be a great 3-tech for us. He's going to be a great player, man. He's a great leader for sure. And he comes in, he hangs out with the guys, goes out of his way to do stuff with the younger guys, and that's someone that you need on that field.
Quickness and his quick twitch and his high motor. He's such a great player to watch. I mean, last year at fall camp, I remember literally this play we were doing like a goal line.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan's just a great person, man. You want someone like that. You want a great man and a great leader to be the kind of the focal point of your offense and your team, and that's something Dylan does so well. I mean, obviously, I don't see the meetings, I don't see everything else, but I do see what he does outside of football, and that's someone that is going to translate well onto the field. He does a great job doing that.
Man, he's just crazy athlete. We got under a block and then made the TFL and stopped the offense from scoring.
Yeah, I mean, DT and Big Phil, I mean, they're great pickups for us. Even Devon Sears and Lacey, Jacob Lacey. I mean, those are 4 players right there that are amazing. And we have tremendous D linemen like Kelvin Gilliam and Jordan Kelly, Isaiah Coe, or we're deep. I mean, with Jonah, that's like 8 or 9 defensive tackles that are dudes. And I'm really excited to see what they can do. It's awesome that they can take up doubles and triple teams, so I don't have to get touched and make plays. So I really appreciate all they do for me.
Playing in games and experiencing things, different looks. And I mean, those guys, I'd say look out for them for sure.
For sure. I mean, Rondell, and I'm also going to give Trey some credit too. Those are 2 guys that have come into our program and have, kind of fit right in like a missing puzzle piece, man. Having dudes like that can get to the quarterback, willing to sacrifice anything it takes for the team, are dudes that you need to win.
I mean, he's going to be a monster for sure. He's smart with the playbook. He's picking things up very well and very quickly. I mean,
Absolutely. That's something that I was blessed with coming as a freshman, having dudes like Caleb Kelly or David Olegbu and Deshaun White that kind of mentored me, and Brian Asamoah as well, that mentored me and pushed me and just showed me what it's like to be an Oklahoma linebacker. And I'm fortunate enough to be in that position where I've mentored them. And I think kind of my guy right now is Lewis Carter. He's a Florida boy as well. So, I mean, every workout he's running next to me. He's getting reps next to me. I'm teaching him as much as I can about the playbook, tips and tricks that I know that can help him when he gets his opportunity. Absolutely. I mean, Kobe and Jaren are neck and neck, man. I mean, every single rep they're battling it out, man. And I know that competitive drive is just going to help them out in the long run. And it's awesome to see them 2 go at it.
We went and watched a scary movie. We watched like Insidious or something. Deshaun didn't want to come because he said that stuff is real, so he didn't want to bring it home with him. But I mean.
I'm sure there's been a lot of talk about Deshaun McCullough, and it's rightfully so. The dude can play. I mean, he comes from Indiana and having his hand in the dirt, but it took some time for him to learn the playbook, transition to kind of probably the toughest position on the defensive side of the ball, and he's done a great job, man. His athletic ability, he's so naturally gifted. He can move so well, cover all that space, and just make plays. That's what he's good at. Yeah, I mean, you're covering the wide side of the field, and you're covering the best slot receivers. And so you kind of have to do everything. You got to stop the run, guard the pass, And that's a tough thing to do in football. Man, it just depends who you are. I think for some guys coming in, for the young guys, typically it's run fits and positioning. For the older guys, it's just a matter of memorizing all the plays. And it just kind of, but once you pick it up, you can't forget it. And it's just, the more you rep it, the easier it gets.
Shout out to our coaches for that. Hats off to them for recruiting these guys.
I think kind of around halfway through the season, it kind of started to slow down. It kind of really starts to make sense where, especially now in the summer where I'm teaching it to all the young guys, I'm teaching Mike, Will, and sometimes that Cheeto position where once you start to teach, you really understand the deeper meanings of why everything happens. So being a guy where you know why the free safety's fitting with you, or you know what the D-line's doing on why you want the quarterback to spill that side, it makes so much more sense. So when you get on the field, the game really slows down because you understand the critical and kind of the chess match of it, that the defense coordinator, why he's calling that play. I think the good players will understand their job. The great players will understand every single person's job. Because when you're able to do that, you're able to play, like I said, with a faster speed, faster pace, where it just looks like you're watching film on tape whenever you're in the game. It just goes so much slower because you know everything that's happening. Yeah, I mean, I like to change it up a little bit. Got a fresh little perm and some little highlights, but, I like to change it up, keep it fresh. Tuesday. Something slight.
show them how we get down on business. I think we're getting along very well.
I think, it's kind of more of a leadership role now. Got to be consistent, every single day. Set the standard for now. Before I was looking up to the old guys. Now I have to be consistent because I know the young guys are looking up to me. Yeah, we lost 5 of the 7 games by 1 score. It's literally just a few plays here and there that dictate the outcome of the game. And I think obviously we need to be better at finishing, but we're going to have more experience where those mistakes don't happen again. Where, whenever you lose like 4 games by 3 points, that just comes down to 2 or 3 plays, like I said. And that's just something that comes with experience. You know how to finish those games. You know how to not make those mistakes. Where, then when I look back to my freshman year, we won a lot of games just by 1 score. So it's literally just the flip side of it.